You know that feeling of just staring at a dashboard forever? Or worse, finding out your whole system is down because angry users are blowing up your Twitter? Yeah, we've all been there. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're fixing that exact problem by setting up a bulletproof Grafana alert that literally pings your Slack channel the exact second things go sideways. So think about it for a second. How do you actually know when a critical part of your app, like your payment service, completely fails? Before users start complaining, you absolutely need an automated system catching those failures instantly. And that's exactly the problem we're tackling right now. We're going to build a system that watches our payment service like a hawk and alerts us the moment the error rate gets out of hand. Now, according to the official Grafana docs, an alert rule is really just a simple set of evaluation criteria. Think of it like this. It runs a query on your data, checks if that data crosses a specific threshold, waits for a set interval just to be sure, and then routes a notification straight to your team. It's honestly that straightforward. All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll cover why this matters. Then we'll navigate the UI, write out our actual rule, set up the Slack contact point, and finally, we'll see the whole thing in action. Let's kick things off with Section 1, Intro and why all of this actually matters. Look, a properly set up alerting system is an absolute game changer for cutting through the noise. It completely replaces that endless dashboard staring we talked about, making sure you only ever get paged for real, actionable user-facing issues. This kind of targeted routing seriously reduces alert fatigue. And the best part? It drastically speeds up your mean time to resolution, or MTTR. You're basically shifting from reactive fighting firing to proactive problem solving. Okay, moving right along to Section 2, Navigating the UI. Whether you're messing around on Grafana Play right now or running a local Docker setup, getting to the right place takes exactly 4 clicks. Literally, just head to the left sidebar, click Alerts in IRM, select Alerting, jump over to Alert Rules, and then smash that bright plus New Alert Rule button. Boom, you're in the creation screen.
All right, now for the fun part. Section 3, Writing your rule.
First things first, we have to give this rule a crystal clear, descriptive name. Any good SRE playbook will tell you that the poor dev who gets woken up at 3 a.m. needs to know exactly what's broken the second they look at their phone. So payments high error rate hits the nail on the head. It is infinitely better than something super vague like, service alert. Next up, we're selecting Prometheus as our data source. By doing this, we're actually creating what's called a Grafana managed alert rule. The docs highly recommend this approach because it gives us a ton of flexibility. We can query multiple backends and really customize how we route things later on. Now for the actual logic. We are using PromQL here to calculate the rate of 500 level errors for our payment service, specifically looking over a rolling 5-minute window. A huge best practice highlighted in our sources is to always use the rate function when you're querying counter metrics. This is what gives us a true actionable signal of how many requests are actually failing right in this moment. Then we set our hard threshold condition right here. We're telling Grafana to trigger if that error rate we just calculated pops above 0.05. That represents our 5% limit. So if more than 5% of our payment requests tank within that 5-minute window, we need to know right away. Now, this next part is absolutely crucial for avoiding alert fatigue. When that condition is finally met, the alert does not fire instantly. Instead, it enters this pending state. By setting a pending period of, say, 5 minutes, Grafana basically waits to see if the errors sustain themselves. This is brilliant because it completely prevents some tiny, harmless network blip from waking you up in the middle of the night. But if the system stays broken, then it officially transitions to firing. Which brings us to Section 4, the Slack contact point. So Grafana uses these things called contact points to actually deliver the notifications out to you. Now, sure, you could technically use a generic webhook, which is basically just a raw JSON payload that you'd have to parse out yourself. But honestly, the native Slack integration is just way better. Out of the box, it delivers these beautifully clean, readable, richly formatted messages directly into your team's support channel. Setting it up is an absolute breeze. Just navigate down to Contact Points under the Alerting menu, hit plus Add Contact Point, pick Slack from the big list of integrations, and paste in the incoming webhook URL from your Slack workspace. You can even click the little test button right there to make sure your pipeline is fully operational before you hit save. All right, let's wrap this up with Section 5, Seeing it all in action. Let's play out a scenario. Imagine your payment service starts degrading right in the middle of a super busy period. Maybe a database locked up, or hey, maybe a bad deployment just pushed a massive bug. Suddenly, your error rate shoots past our strict 5% limit and spikes all the way up to 7%. Let's watch this state change happen live. At 10 a.m., everything's totally normal. Then at 10:01 a.m., the error rate hits 7%, and our alert kicks over into that pending state we talked about. After 5/10 nail-biting minutes of sustained errors, the alert officially transitions from pending to firing at exactly 10:06 a.m. Almost instantly, this exact message pops up in your Slack channel. The routing works flawlessly. The message gives your on-call engineer the exact context they need. The status says firing in big letters. It tells them it's the payment service. The current value is 7%. And this is the best part. It includes a direct, clickable link right to the dashboard so they can start investigating immediately. You know, a Reddit user who goes by the name DogGeek summed this whole process up perfectly when helping someone who felt a bit overwhelmed. They said, "It's pretty easy, actually. The UI is pretty self-explanatory." And they are so right. Conquering these alerts is totally achievable. You literally just need a title, a query, a condition, an interval, and a quick description. So you now have the exact blueprint to protect your systems. We've navigated the UI, built a really robust Prometheus query, and linked the whole shebang directly to Slack. But I want to leave you with this thought. If you can automate the detection of a massive failure this easily, how long until you figure out how to automate the fix itself? Take control of your reliability today, and we'll see you in the next explainer.